One birthday, two milestones. Twins born and raised in Rockford celebrate their 90th birthday side by side in a celebration bringing loved ones in from across the country.
Happy birthday, you guys!
Family and friends gathered for Richard and Bob Lindquist's birthday inside Lino's off East State Street Sunday afternoon. Partygoers shared stories and favorite memories of the brothers and, of course, enjoyed some cake. The pair have spent most of their lives in Rockford, only leaving to serve in the armed forces before returning home. Some loved ones arrived from Florida for the celebration.
It's incredible, really. First of all, twins are rare, and then to have both live such long, wonderful, fulfilling lives and be 90 and be here to talk about it and joyfully celebrate it. It's exciting.